Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and this was very unexpected. I saw this on the rack and did not even know it was coming, so I picked it up. This is Death's Head #1, and I'm going to be honest. I've always liked this character. A little bit of history. He actually comes from the Marvel UK. He was actually created by Simon Furman to use to be used in the Transformers comics. And well, go back a little bit. It's really kind of complex. You see, Transformers ended up kind of getting ahead, and Simon Furman wrote the Transformers comic, and there's a lot of stuff that in the Transformers lore that actually comes from the UK Transformers. Check it out sometime. It's actually really good, and it's been years since I've read it myself. Um, Death's Head actually kind of appeared there, but then they realized that Hasbro would own the character, so they wrote up a quick origin and put it in a different book. They did the same thing with Circuit Breaker, who, before she appeared in the Transformers comic, in the US comic, they actually had her appear for a page in Secret Wars 2, the sequel to the original Secret Wars, so that Marvel could claim sole ownership. And I'm getting way into the weeds here. But anyway, Death's Head was created for Marvel UK. He eventually got replaced by Death's Head 2, which I didn't really care for that character too much. Half his face is missing. You probably know that one. There was a thing in the 90s where they were bringing in Marvel UK comics. Into the US, basically, trying to expand on that, and that's where Death's Head 2 was really kind of brought into the US, I guess you could say. It's really convoluted. It's very hard for me to sum up in just a minute. But anyway, Death's Head was replaced by Death's Head 2. I prefer this version of the character. There's just something about the little fangs up here. He's got a dark sense of humor. It's kind of funny. I like that. So I was really surprised that this just came out of the blue. I don't know who was asking for Death's Head to come back. I'm kind of happy. I like the character. Although I'm looking at this, I'm like, why is he shredding? What's going on there? So we find out that when we open the issue, it comes right up. You see, basically his system's rebooting. Kind of the classic. Restart. No. Yes. Death's Head always ends his sentences in yes. It's like a verbal tick he has. Find out he's been powered off for a while, and when he wakes up, he's actually being used by a band as an amplifier. So he's hooked up while they're just performing a show, and he's like, that's one thing. Even though he's a robot, they still can make him emote with his, think like Johnny Five from Short Circuit with his little flaps, eye flaps. And so we cut back as he's going to his backup. He's going, how did I get here? And here we have Yondu, which is, I'm a little confused by this. This is Yondu. He's got, bounties out for people. He hires Death's Head, but apparently he's been paying for Death's Head's upgrades, and he hasn't been bringing in the bounties that he used to. So basically, Yondu is retiring him with the new models. The reason why I say I'm a little bit confused is I take it that this is, especially since he has not the full mohawk, he just has that little like robot mohawk, that this is the Yondu from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You see, Yondu in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies was originally based on the original Yondu from the Guardians of the Galaxy comic. Not the one that takes place in the current time, but the one that takes place in is that the 25th century? Anyway, in the future. In, in, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when you see Sylvester Stallone and everyone, those are the Guardians from the future. Yondu was part of that team. He wasn't in the present day. So here we have him. Is this a different Yondu? Are they saying that there's two different Yondus? Or is this in the future? The thing about Death's Head is that he kind of travels through time, he travels across dimensions. It could be either way, so I was a little bit confused on this. But anyway, long story short, he's being replaced by all these, basically fembots, and gets basically dumped into the interstellar trash machine, which dumps him in New York, basically present day. And that's how he gets discovered and is being used as an amp. But once he, basically wakes up, he starts reassembling himself and the concert, people are screaming, people are going nuts. And then we have Wiccan and Hulkling, which they were at the concert and, people start screaming, so they go into a bathroom and change into their hero outfits. See, we got to change into our superhero gear in a bathroom. Bucket list. Okay, fair. So who's this? Deathshead? I've only seen him in Avengers Files, but I don't know why he'd be here, or which one this is. I understand he's been upgraded a few times. Like a phone? So yeah, it is kind of confusing, even they say it's kind of confusing. So the Young Avengers fight, and they end up teleporting Deathshead to their bathroom, and where he powers off. Okay, they do say his power is low, but yeah, he's locked in their bathroom, and they talk about wish they had people they could call for this sort of thing. I've called Kate Bishop. She hasn't called back. No one's seen Ellie in a while. If America has a number in this reality, I don't have it. Well, isn't America hanging out with Kate in the West Coast Avengers that was getting all that hype? Yeah, you figure they might be able to reach her that way. So they go back. When they get back to their apartment, Deathshead wakes up, and I can't go too much farther. Wiccan says that he's going to hook up the game consoles to the TVs, but instead he's probing alternate futures. You see, here we have, a bunch of things. Kate and America, Hulkling and Wiccan, and Deathshead. Here we have a picture. This is Deathshead 2. This is, well, you'll see this shortly. Well, I'm not going to show it, but basically this is another version of Deathshead that they find. I'm looking into where this violent machine came from. I thought I knew who you were. Are you from another reality? Or are you just another model? I hate this. I thought I'd already done this quest, man. I just want to be an Avenger again. And yeah, we see all the different pictures, and so it looks like we're going to have some type of new team, and Deathshead's going to be on it with Hulkling and Wicca and Hawkeye and America. How much farther can I really go? Let me go one more page here. Because as you see, Wiccan's checking out all the different realities. And how do I get here, to this reality? I can see where I'm going, but never how. And okay, breathe. This is such a bad idea. Knowing things never made anyone happy, ever. I could have just set up the damn consoles instead. I'd be playing. And then Deathshead wakes up. So, I'm a little bit confused, because Deathshead is only part of this book. The rest of it seems to be focused on Wiccan and Hulkling, which I have nothing against those characters. They're, I guess you'd say, the most prominent gay couple in the Marvel Universe right now. It's that I can think of off the top of my head. So, yeah, fine, whatever. But if you're going to make this book on Deathshead, who has such a complex history, especially if you're going to kind of recreate it, I guess, you should focus just on him. And it started off really well. How he's coming back, goes through his memory, sees what happens with Yondu. And then they cut over and spend the other half of the book with Wiccan and Hulkling. So, yeah, how far back did I go? Yeah, anyway, I kind of feel like I was a little bit ripped off here. I was expecting Deathshead. I really wasn't sure what I was expecting. The art in this book is really good. I've been going through it, and it reminds me of someone, and I can't place who it is. I looked at the artist name. I think it's on the back page, actually. Oh, yeah, and here's that other thing I was mentioning, that Death's Head look there, which kind of emo-ish. Um, yeah, Kai Zama, who I don't really know Tinny Howard or Kai Zama. Um, I don't want to show the last page because there's kind of a spoiler, so I'll flip back over. Who are the editors? Just want to see. Sarah Brunstad. Okay. Um, I don't know why we're bringing this character back. It kind of reminds me of, remember how I mentioned the other day Marvel Saga? I think it was last week, where something I really liked, and then it just made a comeback that I'm not sure what brought it on. I'm not sure why they're bringing Death's Head back. And I'm kind of happy because I like this character when he's written well. Unfortunately, he only seems to be written well when he's done by British authors. They have that kind of, British humor has that kind of dry, can be kind of dark at times. And, you can tell Americans can't really quite get it, usually. And Death's Head is one of those characters that he is a very dry but humorous character. And then they change him around and everything. I would like to see this version, the original version of Death's Head back. Not Death's Head 2, not Death's Head 3.0, not whatever they're alluding to in this. So I hope this does not become a big bait and switch. But what did I think of this book? I like the art. I like that we have Death's Head. I don't have anything against Hulkling and Wiccan. Wiccan, the whole thing with the Scarlet Witch's kids. I never really care for it, but I don't hold it against those characters. As far as this book, I'm gonna go 1 o'clock. I'm gonna go 1 o'clock because the art is good. It's not a bad issue. I didn't think it was bad. Kind of want to know what's going on with Yondu and that, but I'm happy to have Death's Head back. I'm glad that we have. My cat just jumped on something. That we have a character that has been not really used much. I think he's made various incarnations of the Death's Head character. I've made like 3 appearances in the past 20 years, something like that. I think there was like Secret Invasion or something. I know Death's Head appeared in something, maybe Secret Avengers or something, but only for a hot second. So, but anyway, I'll go 1 o'clock on this. I kind of enjoyed it. The art is great, and I liked how they did some of these things with the, from Death's Head point of view. You got his GUI up here, and basically his heads-up display as well as his, I guess you could say, interface here. But anyway, I liked it. I like this issue. I'm curious to see where it's going. I want more Death's Head, though. I really wanted to focus on this character. So, yeah, anyway, 1 o'clock. Not bad. So, anyways, as always, thanks for watching. I have JR just about to run in right there. Get him out of the way. Almost went the whole video with him sitting next to me. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.